Fresh out the box. Fresh out the box.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Fresh Out the Box Plays Vampire the Masquerade. I am the storyteller, Johannanon.
I am the co-host of Fresh Out the Box. It's me, Casualty CDG. My first time playing Vampire. Happy to be playing a gangrel and a crocodile alligator-based one at that. Looking forward to the game. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yes, thank you all very much indeed. It's me, Aaron Baumier, also known as Aaron Dippity Doo online, resident game designer with Adventure Slaying, here playing Vampire the Masquerade for the second time, actually. Very excited.
And I am Vampire Bites. Where would a vampire game be without me? I'll be playing Anon, Kalen Batts, who is Nosferatu and lives in a hacker den, basically. This is not my first time playing Vampire, but it is 5e first time. I'm very happy.
And as always, I am the dastardly, dashing Michael Pow, aka Mr. Kapow, and you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is usually at MRKAPAO. And I am playing Eddie Ha, well, you can pronounce it in a lot of different ways, Kadif, etc., but clanless, basically. Clanless trucker vampire.
This is not my first time playing Vampire either, but it is my first time in 5th edition, so I'm also excited. This is good stuff. So we're going to start it off pretty easy. We're going to do like half of a session 0. And then after the break, we're going to go ahead and break into a prelude sort of situation, because I didn't want to do one of our whole 3 sessions as just a session 0. So, welcome to Houston by Night. This game takes place near the 5th Ward of Houston. I am not from that area, but I am from Houston. And so welcome to our home. We're excited to share it with you. Yeah, I'll be the storyteller, but who are y'all? What's going on? Let's go ahead and get some, just give me your basic, introduction of your character. Tell me a little bit about them, so we can get to know what's going on. We'll start with Aaron.
Hey, yes, so I'm playing Victoria Beauregard, who actually is better known under the mask of Bella V. She is a nightclub sort of owner and this sort of underworld presence. She has a bare knuckle boxing ring hidden in the nightclub that she owns. Where was that again? Did we say that region or that part of Houston was?
Yeah, the 5th Ward.
The 5th Ward.
Lockwood Drive is where your club is.
Which means almost nothing to me because I'm from California. But anyway, yeah, Victoria is very strong, very manipulative, kind of narcissistic. She's honestly not a great person. And she gets what she wants one way or another. But everyone's got to start somewhere. And so she's here with these folks.
I would say for people who are unfamiliar with Houston, the 5th Ward is similar to maybe Compton. It's one of the rougher neighborhoods of Houston. High poverty rate, high crime.
Yeah. Or were you done, Aaron?
Yes,
Okay.
that was pretty much the gist of it.
Oh, that's cool. Gary.
So I am playing Leonard Cross. My story needs a little bit of a rework, but I have the gist of the idea. I'm from New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina displaced and wiped out the neighborhood. During the fallout from that and the neighborhood sort of being chaotic and during the rebuild stage is when I was sired. And now I travel, staying from state park to state park and sort of coming along I-10 West, heading down 59 and camping out at Brazos State Park in Houston. It's a big alligator sinkhole, and so I've sort of blended in by sticking with the alligators and picking off drunk campers or ne'er-do-wells in the park.
Nice. What's your predator type?
My predator type is alley cat.
Okay.
And I actually ended up picking the flaw that makes me super scary when I'm hunting. So, like, I can't stalk, I can't sneak. All I can do is run up and rip people in half and douse myself in their blood.
Or a blunt instrument.
So, in my mind,
Nice.
I grabbed some Killer Croc stock images and threw them up in the Discord, and that's what I have as my Roll20 picture. Today, I wanted to do some scale work on my face, but I jumped on, didn't have much time. But maybe next time my costume will be some full body scale work.
I thought that art looked familiar.
Mm-hmm. Killer Croc, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm kind of a Killer Croc traveling gangrel vampire. I try not to get involved in anybody's business politically, vampire business too much. But I'm certainly a mercenary for hire.
Go ahead, our resident Nosferatu vamp.
Yeah, so I'll be playing Kalen Bats, known to everyone simply as Anon. In life, back in the 80s, he was a hacktivist. Their favorite movie was War Games. Why would you ask? Anon has studied Nietzsche, Marx, Che, and the rest. However, they do know that socialism looks great on paper, but in practice, it quickly turns just into another form of fascism. So he's always been a hacker and a freak, phone freak for those that aren't in on the lingo. Not a freak as in, looking like Nosferatu like this, but the freak as in phone freak. He was swept up back in '89 and taken into a coterie along with, it was under the tutelage of Ambrose Meropis, I guess, and trained even further in the arts. Yeah, trained even further in the arts of digital espionage. And they officially do not exist, which is why they now use they them pronouns, although in life they were he him. And the name Kalen Bats has been expunged from all human records and vampire records. And this person is simply now known as Anon.
That's good because the Inquisition has made their way into all of the intelligence agencies and know to hunt for you. So they are looking for you digitally now, which is fun. Mr. Ha.
Life is like a highway. I want to ride it all night long. Okay, I'm not going to sing, but basically that Rascal Flatts song. Not a singer, but Eddie Ha is the best way to really describe him is life had always been a struggle for this man. He's always found a way to survive. He's actually a immigrant from Beijing, China in the 1960s. And he basically, let's see, what is it? He immigrated this country, I want to say, in the late 80s. And if you're a history buff, there was some political unrest during that time. When he was embraced, after he was embraced, he didn't know who his sire was. He pretty much had to figure out how things work on his own. So he's always been kind of a loner, someone who really only trusts himself. He became let's say a courier, a broker of deals, and maybe a few things from the black market. Yeah, he know if you need something, Eddie knows a guy who knows a guy. And I kind of want to say recently some shit went down in Chicago, and he's making his way down south. So yeah, he might be running from something, to say that.
Excellent. Yeah, no, so yeah, all of you have pretty good backstories. Well, really good. They're all very fleshed out. I like them. I'm happy with it. So a couple things to know about just the world of Vampire in 5th edition, and Houston specifically. So one of the coolest things about this new edition that I like, in the older editions, you're always tiptoeing around these elder vampires that could kill you at any second if you look at them wrong. But in 5th edition, something called the Calling has mysteriously summoned every vampire above like 9th generation away. So the oldest generation around now is like 10th and 11th, which is very, very young comparatively. And so...
Hunt, can I just say this?
Yeah.
Vampire menopause!
Vampire menopause, yeah. Yeah, they're going through something. Something's happening. And they've all just been kind of disappearing. A lot of the priests of Nod, who are the worshippers of Cain, because the original vampire Cain is the founder, like the belief structure of a whole vampire religion in this setting. People think that that's what's going on. They think Cain called them home. But long story short, the older vampires are gone. And it has erupted in chaos across the entire country, the entire world. And Houston is no exception. Houston is one of the largest cities geographically in the entire world. It's a huge city. It's a sprawling, we built sideways here. Don't know why, but we did it. And so this city does not have a prince. This city has 4. It is broken up into sections. Their grasp is tenuous. You don't know who's going to be in charge tomorrow sometimes. It's anyone's game right now. Houston is where people are coming to change their fortunes. It is the city of opportunity right now. Being so close to Mexico and all the stuff that's going on down there right now, and by that I mean the Camarilla finally took over Mexico City. It is a crazy time in the world of Vampire. A lot of this is gibberish to some of y'all, but to those of you who it's not, just letting you know. The important part, most of you are younger vampires, so you might not know a lot of this anyways. It's entirely possible that you have no idea. The important things to know about Houston and the setting, there are zones of control that people walk across hesitantly. There are groups of hunters that rock this land Houston has a lot of Baptists. So there is a section of the Inquisition. I've dubbed them the Knights of John.
Can we boo the Baptists?
I mean, I'm okay with boo. Yeah, boo. Boo. But yeah, so the Baptists are they form these Baptist militias and they roam the streets sometimes. Be on the lookout for that. And also the other thing that's been kind of a phenomenon in the entire world has been the Thin Bloods. Supposedly you can't, a 13th generation vampire can't turn somebody. But they can. You can do it. It's not supposed to happen. It's a sign of the apocalypse, but there are many, many Thin Bloods. Most of whom don't even realize they're actually vampires. They don't believe in any of the magic. They don't believe in any of the lore. They are just thirsty. But who isn't in the age of the internet? So, that's kind of the gist. But we're gonna get down more to the nitty gritty of you all coming together in these trying times, because your group is pretty out there. It's pretty from all over the place, but you all have in common the fact that you're outcasts, which makes it pretty easy. What's your club called, Aaron?
Is Salvation.
Salvation. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
Okay.
And all the architecture and aesthetic has this sort of like I don't want to say necessarily religious parody entirely, but there's like a religious iconography and things used kind of ironically
Yeah.
as a part of the setting.
Well, the section of town that you're in is pretty. It's run down somewhat, and so it's totally believable that your club could be like an old church.
Oh yeah,
or
that'd be
something
great.
like that.
That'd be perfect, in fact.
Yeah, I think an old church, Salvation. It's a club. It's an open club, right? It is a public.
Mhm.
Like people can come in.
Yep. Yeah, it's an open club.
Uh,
All
you're-
the normal things.
Your club exists in one of the areas not controlled by any prince. It is an anarch zone, and a lot of the Camarilla right now are too busy to care that you exist. They don't have the resources to go hunt you unless you step on toes.
If
So
you don't know about Houston slabs, you should Google them and look at all the awesome cars that would be in front of your club.
there's a lot of them outside your club. Yeah.
Houston
Oh, wow.
has this whole car culture of lowriders with oversized rims, like way too big, with huge elbows that stick off the rims that are like curb feeler blades. So there are just some huge tricked out cars.
Yeah,
and
good old curb catchers. Yeah.
especially in the club scene.
They are
You'd be there.
They're beautiful. They look like chariot wheel swords.
Yeah, they do.
And I don't understand how they're legal, but they're pretty big around here.
Have you seen that the Precinct 1 police car that is a slab? It's like oh yeah, man. It's a Harris County car, and it patrols, and it's got the elbows, and it's dropped, it's got the rims, it's got the whole 9 yards.
Houston has a lot of interesting culture. The only other thing you really need to know about is Scissorp, but you don't really need to know.
That club would be dealing in scissor.
You just don't do this at home. Well, I don't know if I can even say what it is on screen.
Of course you can.
Cough syrup and Sprite of a specific
Oh my God.
quality
Perfect.
of cough
Yeah.
syrup, and apparently people drop hard candies in them too. And then you get leaned out, and it's real fun. But don't do drugs. So those are the things going on in the culture, and that's another thing about the Session Zero. This game, Vampire, deals with themes of drugs, sex, extreme violence, gore, horror. It can get really, really fucked up. I mean, I'm not playing with any Zamisi this game, but oh boy. They can turn people in like flesh cubes, and then like you can still feel everything. It's fun. It's fun. It's a fucked up place.
You're only not playing with Shamasi because I decided to play Nosferatu instead.
I figured as much. Somehow I knew those would be the two that you would pick.
If
So-
we were
Okay.
playing a Sabat game, yeah, Shamasi is where I would go.
Yeah. Oh god, that's so awful. They're the worst, but they're also the best. So this game is like so like and this is our Halloween session. We're gonna be playing this all October. Are you waving at me?
No, it was supposed to be spooky, but it really didn't translate that way.
Spooky. You're like, hi. I thought you
I'm
had something
like-
to say. Yeah, this is our spooky game. Well, here, I'll. There you go.
Spooky.
Spooky. A lot of my games have horror, but I don't want to cross any lines with you guys. I already know probably not going to go too hard. I'm going to put a hard line. It says that it's in the, to expect it in this game. I don't want any sexual violence. I can't handle it. I don't want to run it. I don't want to make those rolls. Like, that's awful. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and say no to that. But this is if anyone watching, you've ever played TTRPG, it's in pretty much every book now, but lines and veils, things that, you want to gloss over, things that you want to admit completely. It's about respect, and it's about making your table a welcoming place. So even though we're playing a fucked up vampire game, I don't want anyone to, have a psychotic episode or like relive any past trauma. So
Yeah, we're still here to have fun.
Still here to
even though
have
we're
fun.
here to have fun in a fucked up sandbox.
Yeah.
We're still here to have fun.
That's right.
So you know me, I've got that whole background of human trafficking investigation and stuff. So we can gloss over like autopsies. Like that's fine if they're in the game. You need to check out a body, but particularly morgues kind of fuck my shit up. The longer we're in the morgue, the worse it is. And then dead kids is the same way. Like if there's dead kids, that's fine. Let's move on. We don't need to really zoom in on the dead kids.
yeah. I'm probably going to avoid that whole situation. Luckily, all these games are going to take place at night, and there's not really a lot of kids out, so...
No, that's true, but the morgue is a really good place to go for meat.
Yeah, but I'll just pretend like kids don't die or something, I don't know.
Anyone else, any lines or veils, anything that is we should gloss over, keep moving? And if you don't want to talk about it on air, that's fine too.
Yeah, you can message me privately, blah, 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 and I'll skip it. But we're also going to, we're going to try to omit a lot of the racism. There might be a character or two, like an NPC, that, maybe has a certain, but we're not going to say any words. And, it's a little different when one of the multitude that I play has, that kind of thing, as opposed to someone's whole character. So I'm going to put a kibosh on that. But you guys are cool with, ultra-violence, drugs, overdosing.
I'm really cool with drugs.
Okay. Just making sure. Feeding can be gross. We'll, talk about it. I'd really like what they've done with the feeding system in this game. You don't spend blood to do things anymore. When you rouse your blood, you have to make a rouse check. And if you fail it, your hunger goes up. If you don't, it doesn't. So you could go a whole game without ever actually getting hungry, if you're lucky. But once you have one level of hunger, you can never get back down to 0 without killing someone. You can get back down to 1 without killing someone, but in order to sate your hunger all the way back down, you have to take somebody's last.
I have a feeling that only Michael's character will have sort of a mental block of murdering people in cold blood and drinking them dry.
Maybe.
The rest of us seem all in on
I don't know that.
it. That's right, I don't know that. You might be all about it.
He might be the worst one, yeah. He's just...
That's why he's a long haul trucker, so he can get away from the last body.
That puts people to nappy time doesn't mean this is the same exact character, even though apparently they're both drivers.
Oh, I have a fucked up Houston-based idea, Jahan, for vampires. You know how human trafficking is like one of the cool things in Houston that everyone loves to do?
You mean that human trafficking, that Houston's the human trafficking capital of the world? Yeah, I know.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So what if you did like I know sometimes we talk about scenes or things that could come up that could be cool. What about the old semi-truck driven across the border with a bunch of people that the vampires were going to feed on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a natural thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be a thing for sure.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of human trafficking. So the reasons why Houston is such a good vampire city: 1, unfortunately, human trafficking. 2, it's huge. It's a huge sprawling suburban area. 3, it is an open carry. You can walk down the street with an AK-47, and no one can really bug you about it.
It's an international airport and an American airport. There's an international shipping port that has some of the largest tonnage coming in through the world. So there's a ton of boats. There are the whole city. The way Houston is set up is like a target. It looks like a target from above. There's a huge T, and then there's a circle around the center of the T, a circle around that, and a circle around that. So there are just these giant highways, these super highways that get you all over the city and surround the city.
Yeah, if you look at the map in the background of the Roll20, the loops are real. Like, that's... You live inside the loop, you live outside the loop. It's a whole thing.
It changes the culture, which is really stupid.
It's interesting, yeah.
The more money you have, you live inside the loop, and then there's a part in between the loops where you don't have any money, but then if you live way outside the furthest loop, it's expensive again. So the culture changes as you sort of drive down the highway through these loops towards the center of town.
It's really weird. It's the weirdest
That's
city
interesting.
ever. I'm so happy we finally get to play in it. If anyone has any Houston questions, Gary was a police officer here, so he knows a lot about the city. And I've
I
lived
was
here
in
most
charge
of my
of
life.
Harris County and the 11 surrounding counties as a human trafficking team lead for like 5 years. So I know all about crimes in cities and counties.
Can somebody ping on the map? Because I have not found that street yet.
It's not on that
Lockwood.
map.
Oh, we're not on this. The map
You're not
that
on
we
that
have
specific map, no.
isn't where we are.
No,
Gotcha.
that's just for.
That's
funny
why
that
I
you-
can't find it.
I put it there for shits and giggles. Yeah.
It would be probably about where like the Clay Road intersection is, except on the right, on the southeast side of the city. So just mirror that southeast corner. It's right towards the center of town. It's just inside the loop. It's actually really close to downtown, actually.
Here, actually, I can.
Also want to say, I'm
see
going to
Clay.
chat real quick. Avenging Penguin. Good to
Hi,
see you,
Avenging
buddy.
Penguin. And
Bingo!
These are my Hunter S. Thompson glasses.
Nice.
Yes, Jahan does look like he just fell off the cast of the Lost Boys. I told him before stream too.
He also told me before stream that I look like I'm from. I didn't mean to. I was trying to go for badass trucker, but I'll take either. Honest or badass biker guy. So I dropped a address in the thing. It's for a Bank of America ATM in the area. So like that'll just be the general region.
First shot of this adventure needs to be the ATM and whichever character walking away from it or walking up to it. But now we have our pin location and it's an ATM, so I feel like it has to be seen.
It's fair.
Are you doing the thing, Vampire?
What thing?
I can hear you doing the thing.
He has Obfuscate activated right now.
To look like a cartoon character. Oh god, what a like terrifying use of that power. So, that's kind of the gist of what's going on. I have a prologue, like kind of intro adventure thing going on for you guys, and then I have a arc that I will present later.
So I think some other things to note about Houston is there are bayous everywhere.
Yes,
like
very
behind
important.
every neighborhood, there are bayous. They are not like concrete bayous like you see in LA. They're just grass. They're just these huge grass ditches that run all over the entire city so that it doesn't flood. And there's a riverway called Buffalo Bayou that goes from the port all the way through Houston, cutting east and west, and then sort of ends up on the opposite side of Houston.
And you guys are pretty close to Buffalo Bayou.
And there are all sorts of tributaries off of Buffalo Bayou, and that's what Houston is built on. It's the Bayou City.
I don't want to tell you this, but I noticed when I was looking at the map, you're also pretty close to the zoo. But don't do anything with that information.
Which means we're also close to the medical district.
Which also has a very high crime rate, which I was surprised by, but yeah.
Oh, there are so many unfortunate people to feed on out there that sleep in the park overnight, though. There was a really big problem with fake weed, running rampant in Houston, and all of the homeless people were getting sold fake bake, and so they were having a bunch of breakdowns in the Med Center parks. It was great. It was horrible.
Rough.
Yeah. The more I talk about Houston, the more I realize this is just a great setting. What an
This
awful
is a
fucking
perfect
place.
vampire. It's already a dystopian nightmare.
It's like
so-
Night City.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Good times.
it is also very dangerous. So,
Oh my god.
reality aside, that's kind of the setting. I feel like you guys have like a feel for it now. You kind of understand where you are, what you're dealing with. As far as your characters go, do you have anything you need to add to your sheets? That kind of thing. We can take care of that now.
I do. I was just going to ask Michael whenever we took a break, though. But I have the wrong blood on the back of my character sheet because I didn't know I was supposed to be young. So I need to
Right.
change my potency.
Are you having trouble doing that?
Just was going to ask what everyone else's is because we probably all have the same.
Yeah, you
right?
all should have this.
One.
One.
One. Mhm.
One.
Yeah, blood potency 1. You're all 12.
And then for the numbers under that, the surge, mend, power, all that, can someone just scream those numbers at me, and then I'll put them in? It's just like
Yeah,
one.
I don't know those
So-
either, actually.
Blood surge is add 1 die. Men amount is 1 point of superficial damage. Power bonus, none. Rouse reroll, level 1. Feeding penalty is animal and bagged blood.
Oh, that's from your background.
That's from
thing.
your background, yeah.
Okay. So Bane severity is 1. That's from my sheet.
Awesome. That's perfect. Thank you. I had initially, I didn't know that we were all going to be young vampires, so I wanted to be like a Viking spawn who had been here since like the fucking 1400s and just hung out with the Native Americans. But that's for another game.
That's very cool, but yeah, it's for another game, and like, unfortunately, being old in this game makes you really strong.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also just the lore is in an interesting spot too, where a lot of the elders are gone. So being an elder, almost you needed like an extra why, and you know it's
Yeah.
for a first
Sure.
game. I think coming in as an intro character is fine.
Yeah. No, definitely. So yeah, you guys all knocked that out. That's good. The other thing that we needed to talk about, you all waited to do the coterie stuff until you were a coterie. So, in my mind, right, I mean, I've explained how everything's in upheaval. The Camarillo's a mess, especially in Houston. Specifically, Gary, you were forced out of the park by the Baptists that I was mentioning earlier. They were hunting.
They came snooping around,
Well, I
asking
mean,
questions.
especially considering how you rip people apart. Yeah, they started picking up
Yeah.
the trail.
And that's one of the reasons I was staying at the Brazos Bend State Park too, so I could dump bodies with alligators. But after a while, when enough people go missing and enough alligators are eating people, there's a sign. there's
Yeah.
Pretty
Yep,
sus.
so
It gets pretty sus.
I've got a truck. My truck has a camper shell, so I can move around, and I'll just park under wherever I need to for the night.
Yeah. So you got forced more into town. Mr. Ha, I feel like you probably wound up working just for Aaron at some point doing a haul. And then Vamp, I don't know what the Nosferatu's up to, but I feel like it's probably interesting.
Well, I'm sure it's digitally no good. I mean, we're not supposed to be on computers, right?
You're not supposed to be, but it's becoming more and more important that you are.
And that's what Anon is famous for.
Yeah. So yeah.
I was just gonna say that I have a level 3 contact who I've defined as like the manager of my bar or manager of the nightclub, Jasper.
Yeah.
And I imagine that Eddie would probably do more work through Jasper than me directly.
Is
And likely
Jasper-
to that,
Is he like an awesome old black guy?
yes. Yes, it is.
I'm gonna know Jasper also, if that's okay with you, from my time in New Orleans, because I also have a level 3 contact, and I think it's just appropriate now. I can work for you, and it makes more sense.
Okay, perfect, sweet. And Eddie would be your other contact that would help, like, my network or Jasper's network of, like, connections, too.
I got a level. Let's see. What is it? Yeah, I have a level 2 contact.
Okay, perfect. So that'd be, like, somebody in the black market game that, like, we know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Say. You know what? Got an idea. Could I have my contact be a ghoul? Level 2, I think it qualifies to be a ghoul.
That's fine.
A
I have no issue with
Giovanni or a Heknia. They're known as Heknias now.
Interesting. You want a Giovanni Ghoul to be your black market contact?
Yeah, because he's a guy. He gets stuff that fell off the back of a truck.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, if you
And
want,
it fell into the back of my truck.
if you want to pull mafiosos into this, man, that's on you. But yeah, I'm fine with that. For those of you that don't know, the Giovanni are essentially the Italian mafia if they were necromancers. And I believe they're also incestuous, which is great.
That made me want to ask a follow-up question to Sean.
Yes.
What do you mean by we're not supposed to be on computers? Like Nosferatu or vampires? Or is
Vampires
okay?
as a whole.
They can find you very easily. So if you have like a Facebook or something, they can't find him, but they can't find Anon, but they can find the layman pretty easily.
The Nosferatu net, the Sheknet, got hacked by the Second Inquisition.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the Second Inquisition has infiltrated the NSA in this timeline, so it's pretty cool. I also know this is not our...
Man, that'd be a fun campaign to play if we were also infiltrated the NSA and we were vampires battling the Inquisition in like a political debate, trying to protect vampires without getting caught.
That could be awesome, actually.
We're all just sitting around in like suits talking at desks.
Just 12 Angry Men roleplay.
Everyone watching is like, what the fuck is this boring ass stream?
Throw the book at him! No! He deserves a chance! That's a good movie. We could play a jury game later. But yeah, so it sounds like you all pretty much know each other. Anon, where do you want to come in this?
Anon has the background of being able to make masks as well as having a mask of their own. And I know that at least one other character has a mask that we've discussed, so we just said that Anon was the one that helped get to acquire that mask.
Yes. I have a thought on that.
Go for it.
Because I have a mask that's the Bella V name is the mask sort of front. And yeah, there's that connection. We kind of talked about it in our chat about having that association. I feel like that would also partially be run through Jasper being Victoria's like main contacts, like when she says my people talk to your people, she's going to have Jasper contact you. Right. And also, just have that kind of barrier. It's a very, very professional relationship between our organizations, but an important one.
Yes. Yeah, so in recent events, things are hectic, with the fall of the princes nationwide and the war going on, the rise of the anarch states inside the city. It's just become it's very dangerous right now. And so I feel like the fact that you all know each other and are unaffiliated kind of drifters, I feel like that's an easy enough reason to just become a coterie. But it's up to you. There are many types of coteries.
I have an idea actually because you tie in Gary's character in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if your character wants to know my character previously.
I believe that he knows the bar manager of Aaron's bar already, but you can also have some sort of connection if you want.
Well, I want to suggest, since my character, honestly, he's a long haul trucker, so he goes from city to city. Whenever he's in Houston making a big deal, and he needs some extra muscle.
And I like the idea that you would have met me in a different state too. We've both been around a while. We didn't just become vampires yesterday, so we could have seen each other a couple times, and then I was a background muscle goon, and finally you're like, hey, you're a muscle goon. I've seen you around. You work. So now that's right. We can stay in contact.
I admire the way you break arms.
Yeah, right.
You hit them in the back, and then you dig your other elbow like into the small of their neck, and then you do that twist. I really like that.
You don't forget the guy who rips a person in half and showers in their entrails.
You don't.
And given that Anon has the background with Ambrose, and Ambrose is a core V5 character, and Chicago is the core city for V5. I'm assuming that Ambrose is in Chicago, which means that Anon used to be in Chicago, so we may know each other that way too.
Okay. You want to know you want to learn through the game, or do you want to know now why Eddie left Chicago?
I mean, things are getting hot and heavy up in Chicago. I think we all left Chicago. And those of us who left Chicago probably left for pretty much the same reasons.
Eddie, there's a very specific reason why Eddie left Chicago, though. He's on the run from somebody very, very important in Chicago. Put it out there.
As long as it's
Want
not
no more?
Ambrose. As long as it's not Ambrose, I think we're okay.
Not Ambrose. Ambrose.
That could be trouble.
If you, like I said, if you want, no, I can tell you, or we could learn through the game.
Having it come out in game would be great.
Sounds good
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
perfectly fine. So yeah, it sounds like y'all are pretty well intermingled. So the types of coteries, a lot of them just don't apply to what I'm hearing. You're not a blood cult. You're not a Cerberus coterie. You're definitely not champions or commandos. Not day
Maybe
Maybe
watching.
Plumer?
Plumer tends to be higher in society.
I was gonna say like a Fang gang.
Yeah, you might be a Fang gang. I feel like a lot of people wind up with that one because it is pretty encompassing, and it's not very. It's very multi-purpose. Fang gang is just a coterie that operates as a criminal gang essentially, or possibly as a crew of burglars or con artists. You know, you're just a criminal group, and that's pretty easy. There's also hunting party if you want to hunt together.
The
There's
whole crew
Beardy.
thing.
I'm sorry, Michael. I was saying this Sabiri sort of fits also in kind of a way. We disguise ourselves as one type of a coterie, but we're doing something secret for another. And since Erin owns the club, whatever her character's actual plan is what we're doing, regardless of what we think
Are
we're
you doing a secret covert action there, Aaron?
Nothing really explicit necessarily.
You don't have to say it out
Um,
loud. You can like message me or something if you have a secret.
Sure,
but-
sure. It also might be something that could be like expanded up or blown up a little bit because I have my sire Chester. What's his name? Good old Chester. Chester Manning. The thing about Chester is that he's like one of the older ones that are still around, and he's also kind of a bastard. And he has like plans for me. I've been sort of like his little pet project. And at this stage, my objective is to, with this whole sort of with the coterie, with what's going on so far with Salvation, is to become, how can I say it? So it's like, someone who like floats in the shadows of the underworld and pulls the strings a little bit, while also avoiding the limelight explicitly. So, lots of background details. What was I going with that?
You could be
With
a
Chester.
You could be a Questari. Your coterie formed with like an enterprise or an objective in mind.
Can I suggest when we, backtrack a little bit? That crew thing. That sounds good because Erin, her character, basically is the front.
Yeah.
And I'm the driver broker. We have John's character here, Vampire Bites, as the person who gets the info black market, and then we got the muscle here with Gary.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. You do fit a Fang gang perfectly.
Definitely, I think so too. Ultimately, because being involved in the criminal world is sort of the main focus of Victoria, of her angle.
Yeah,
It
there's
looks
nothing
like
wrong
it
with
gives us some contact point also if we take that, and we already have contacts, which is thematically cool. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the one that's for
We
us.
could be even more well connected.
That's right.
So yeah, if that's what you're going with, you get all those abilities. You get domain, chase, line, and Portillion. You get contacts, offense, or other criminal middleman. That's kind of up to y'all. You get another contact, essentially. And then you're going to get enemies, and that's up to me. You have 2 points of enemies. Which, you're going to have those anyways, so don't worry.
We want
Pretty
this
sure a lot-
contact. Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure a lot of people hate us. They hate us because they ain't us.
That's
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That little bonus contact, what if we had to sort of like a little messenger, sort of like, what am I trying to say? Like a courier kind of messenger, kind of like late teens, early 20s kid, you know, kind of thought there. Who we just have like who Jasper ferries around for small things.
Yeah. So just like something, because when it comes to Michael, it's like you transport like big stuff and like important stuff, right? And so for like mundane like milk runs and like, hey, I need you to go tell Jerry on 5th Street that he's a dick. That's gonna be this
I was gonna
kid.
say more like
That's what I'm thinking.
more like the Nilla envelopes with money in it.
Yeah. He does like dead drops and stuff for you, like all the busy work. Also, he can operate in the day because he's probably human, or thin blood, but sometimes they don't even know.
Cool.
I don't think any of you have aspects, do you?
Oh,
It's pretty fun. It's fun.
wish.
It's fun that no one has aspects because it's really hard to tell if people are vampires sometimes. But yeah. Okay. So I'll put that as a NPC. Let's see, we got Jasper, manager. We got. You guys have a preference on this kid, male, female, other, age, anything? Any preferences?
Young, like early 20s black male.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see. I have a name generator here. I'll just plop one out.
He needs a nickname. He needs a nickname.
Oh no, this is a
Yeah,
great
he does.
name. This is such a good name. Javier Justice. I like it. I don't know if he'll like it, but I like it. Javier Justice. Contact. All right. That was on the name generator. So I'm like, hell yeah, that's a good ass name.
His nickname could be Justice Juice.
There you go.
It's even longer than his real name. How could his nickname be longer than his actual name?
That's a good point.
Just call him Juice, like the guy from Blank Check.
Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Blank Check.
He's also Shades in Luke Cage.
Oh, is it the same person?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
funny.
Juice. I love that actor too. His name is Theo Rossi.
He's pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah, he's pretty good. So yeah, there's that. What are the other things we got to knock out with your coterie beforehand? We just got to do the. What's this whole? Let's see. Domain, chase, line, and portillion. I feel like those are important. Let me find the domain rules for you real quick, and we'll knock that out too.
I do have those open. The Fanging. Oh no, sorry. Those are on page 196. No, 197. Or no, yeah, whatever.
Oh, here we
I'll
go.
find it.
Okay, I see. Those are coterie. Okay, it gets more into it. I see now. So you have chase of one, which means your coterie owns one city block, one suburb, gated community. So you do have a turf. So you essentially own the turf immediately around your club, which probably encompasses a couple other buildings in like a shopping center or something, but not a lot.
I can't
Probably
find
also below the club too, like the sewer system, because we got a Nosferatu buddy too.
Yes, yeah, you definitely own that. Any bayous there within, all that good stuff. Line, this trait describes how well integrated the coterie is into their domain. Each dot line adds one die to a coterie member's pool on an attempt to interact peacefully with native mortals. Find something, someone, or somewhere specific within the domain, or find out word on the street, or otherwise investigate something in your domain. So essentially, line, you have one dot in it, so that gives you a bonus to interacting within your domain. Pretty simple. And then the last thing is Portillion. This trait describes how secure the domain is against intrusion or disruption, including mortal police or predators, the Second Inquisition, etc. Each dot subtracts 1 die from a foe's pool when they attempt to enter, investigate, or surveil your domain. Portillion seldom adds to character pools. Primarily acts as resistance. So that's all it means. So those essentially your domain. You own some territory, and you operate at sort of a higher level within it when you're doing certain things. Unfortunately, you don't have the largest domain, but that could all change. Who knows?
It's good to own land.
It's the land of opportunity here.
That's right.
So yeah, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, I can't find. So one, I can't find where to actually put that on the character sheet, or where it is in the drag and drop from the rule books. So I'm currently just dropping it into notes, but
yeah, probably in notes. I'm not sure if there is a spot on it. There might be coterie sheets. I don't know.
yeah, I don't see it.
Let's see.
The sheet has PC and SPC, so I don't see a separate coterie
Put in
sheet.
notes. Put in notes.
And also, don't forget my bat. You might want to drop a. So if you if you give me a secondary character sheet,
Yeah.
I will drop bat onto it.
I can do that.
Forgot you had a bat.
I did
I
too.
do.
Yeah, me too.
You went with the bat.
That's great.
It's a large, cool bat.
There is a bridge in Houston. I forget the name of. It starts with an H. It's like Hog Bridge, How Bridge. Anyways, huge bat colonies. Lots of bats. Big bat families in Houston.
Yeah, I chose the bat because at Animalism 1, I can give simple commands to it, but we can't speak yet. So I just basically use it as a carrier pigeon when texting is forbidden.
I have given you a bet.
Thank you, sir.
Let me see. It might be under. No, I don't see any sort of coterie sheet or anything. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's only got the 3 things on it. You know. You don't really have to worry about it too much. Just maybe put it in like your notes so you know.
Yeah.
But I'll also try to remind you if it becomes relevant. Yep.
Hey.
All right. So, does anyone need any equipment or anything before we start?
Actually, I do really quick. I have 2 flaws if you want to flesh them out, or do you also do it during game? Have the flaws adversary and enemies. I put down Eddie cross someone in the city, or has a rival courier, and it's up to your discretion. It could be a possible story hook if you want. So,
So you have an adversary and enemies as flaws?
so the adversary would be a fellow kindred, and the enemy would be a human.
Yeah. How many dots in each?
1.
Okay.
Do you have one thing to throw in just for thought? I have Finance 3 as a skill.
Okay.
So we'd probably be making, when I read Finance 3,
Likewise.
it says something about, oh, I changed the page, but it says something about making international, it's mostly about like stock trades and stuff like that. But basically, as I see it being a criminal angle, more like shipping out drugs or something, probably through the shipping yard and everything.
Mm-hmm. Y'all are pretty close to the port. Not too far.
Something like that as like what would be considered as like a passive income for outside of the normal avenues.
Okay.
We could hide the drugs in the next generation of Beanie Babies that my character ships out.
There you go.
You mean Squishmallows?
Sure.
How important is gear, Jahan? I just kind of browsed it, and I don't know if I need to do I need to gear myself out?
I mean, so you're a vampire. You probably are fine.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of game where I need to make sure I have a dagger and leather armor and my adventurer's kit.
Yeah, some people want to have guns, and there's nothing wrong with that. They do extra damage. You are probably best off using your hands.
Yeah, I built myself to use my hands.
So if you want to have a gun for shits and giggles, you can.
I was more gonna ask about is armor a thing? Should I have a flak jacket, or is this game just you have this many health squares?
There's not really flak jacket. So the way health works, actually, I mean, you can have a flak jacket. It's just vampires are already resistant to guns. So if you get shot, it does non-lethal damage. It does superficial damage to you, and it only does half. And then you have to fill up all your boxes with superficial damage, and then you start taking aggravated damage. And then even when you fill up all your boxes with aggravated damage, you're still not technically dead until someone deliberately kills you. It's pretty hard to kill a vampire.
I would suggest maybe because your character is an outdoors person, sun bag. It's basically a sunproof sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You never know when you might get caught out. That's something I would probably have in my truck.
Yeah,
sure.
at least until you get higher level, because Gangrel eventually can just sink into the ground when the sun comes up.
Yes, I saw that. I could have even picked some shiznit to not be so affected by the sun, but then I didn't want to do that because ripping people in half is awesome.
Yeah, it's fair.
And my character does have a gun, but he uses it more for intimidation purposes for the mortals, so they don't break the masquerade.
No, definitely. Sometimes it's better, yeah. And so that's the other thing. It's important to know you are in an anarch state, but other vampires still don't want people to be like, hey, look, vampires. If you're blatantly doing stuff out in the open, and you're starting to get caught, and people are seeing it, and you're if you rip someone in half in front of a crowd of people, someone's going to fight you. Just FYI.
Everybody has phones. Everybody has phones these days.
Everyone has phones these days. It is a hard time to keep secret, but it is in everyone's best interest, regardless of your affiliations, blah, blah, blah. Keeping the secret is still important, even when you're not in the camera. But yeah, that's another important thing. We didn't really talk about the masquerade. Using obvious powers in front of mortals is forbidden. There's actually rules. I'll go over the rules real quick because we have a minute here before we got to go on our break. So let me read you the message. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, should we also do some Chronicle tenets? For the sake of the...
Chronicle tenets.
Those start on page 172.
Probably.
By convictions and touchdowns and all that.
Oh, yeah. Those are important, actually. Mm-hmm. Because, touchstones and stuff are the only way you can really regain willpower. And if you lose all your willpower, you can die and stuff. So
Yeah.
Let me see. Where's the masquerade? Go to the camera. It's probably there, right? Yeah, the sixth tradition. So the first tradition is the masquerade. Thou shalt not reveal thy true nature to those not of the blood. Doing such shall renounce thy claim of blood. The second tradition is the domain. Thy domain is thine own concern. All others owe thee respect while in it. None may challenge thy word while in thy domain. These are Camarilla rules, so they're kind of loose in your area. But hey. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny shall be slain. So don't go embracing people. It's something you can do. You can walk up to anybody and make them a vampire. So just FYI, I can't technically stop you, but other people might. Fourth edition, the accounting. Those thou create are thine own children. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. So if any of you have a sire, that is active and alive. If you do some shit, they can get in trouble. FYI. The fifth is hospitality. Honor one another's domain when thou comest to a foreign city. Present yourself to the ruler. Without a word of acceptance, you are nothing. So you have to introduce yourself when you enter a new city. That rule did not exist here, for obvious reasons. And then, I think this is the final one. Destruction. You're forbidden to destroy another of thy kind. The right of destruction belongs only to thine elder. Only the eldest among thee shall call the blood hunt. So there's a thing where if you fuck up bad enough, a prince can call the blood hunt on you, and literally everyone is then allowed to kill you. It's pretty intense. I actually thought about that being the game we were going to play. But, you know, you guys are mischievous, so it could still happen.
Can I point out, it's actually more like don't get caught killing.
Don't get
another
caught.
vampire.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's plausible deniability, it's very much the way that Menzo Baranzan works with the Dark Elves in Forgotten Realms. It's, you know, like, it's like people might know that you did it, but unless they really know, you know, you didn't do shit.
Yeah.
This is a very cloak and dagger style game, or it can be. Yeah. And so you were talking about beliefs and convictions, right?
Beliefs and convictions, chronicle tenets. That's what I was looking at.
Right. So convictions, each character begins with 1 to 3. These are human values that you attempt to uphold even after death, because you don't want to give all the way into your beast. Once you do that, it's bad. There's not much. There might not be coming back.
Yeah. I've got both of my touchstones and the convictions that go with them. Are we sharing those? Are those public, or do
you don't have to.
As long as Jahan knows, and he can look at the sheets.
Yeah, I can look at the sheets. You don't have to say them out loud. This is also, that's another thing about this game. It's like the only TTRPG that I've played where it's like, you don't show your sheet to people. You don't have to. You can have secrets. It's okay. But yeah, as long as you have them, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a good one for Gary. Never expose children to violence. There you go. That can be a conviction. You know? You're muted.
Sorry, I've also got my touchstones and convictions filled out.
Good.
So one of my touchstones is a tribe that agreed to protect gangrel travelers ages ago, and my conviction with that is my oath is sacred. So if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. The other one is it is best to attack first, and my touchstone is a social worker who helps the community who was attacked in a parking lot. So now I don't fuck around. I'll strike first.
Nice. My touchstones are closely guarded secret.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can tell me, and yeah. Let me do the social worker. It works out. It will be Jessica Ramirez from Threefold.
And she's played by Asta from Resident Alien, if anyone's seen that yet.
I don't know who that is.
You need to watch Resident Alien. Everyone needs to watch it.
I do.
My touchstones and convictions, kind of a secret, and also I think I might have to add and alter it a little bit.
Okay, I see her. She's okay. You need to add an altar, you said?
No, I might have to alter it a little bit.
Okay. That's fine. So, yeah, as long as y'all know, and yeah, you can share if you feel like it. That's fine. But you don't have to. Not obligated to in any way. And as long as you have those finished, if you don't need any help, unless you can think of something else that we haven't done yet. Or if there's something in the rules you don't understand. Does everybody kind of understand the dice pools, how that works? Gary made a face. It's just dice pool. It's just however many dots you have in the attribute and the skill, you roll that many d10s. Anything a 6 or higher is success. And then target numbers are numbers of success. So it's like, oh, that's kind of hard. 3 or 4 successes, you know, or like that's really hard, you know, maybe 6 or 7, you know. but number of successes equals any dice above 6. And then once you start getting hunger, you start swapping out. It should happen automatically when you change your hunger number on your sheet. Your dice will start to get swapped out for hunger dice, and you can't re-roll hunger dice. And they can cause you problems. That's how you can kind of get like critical failures and stuff. So, but we will be learning more about that when we start playing for sure.
Can you remind me how the specialties work? Is that one extra die, or is that one extra success, or I don't remember what specialties, how they affect the rolls.
It might just make certain things possible, but I will double check for you, my friend. That's what this is for. Session 0, baby. Core traits. You know what page they're on? Should be under skills, probably.
Yeah, I'm using the compendium in Roll20.
155-ish.
Core trait. Okay. Core traits. Let's see. It should talk about, skill specialty. A specialty represents a particular expertise in one aspect of a skill. This is a field where a character may be especially well practiced. Each skill includes sample specialties, but it's not exhausted. What does it do? If a storyteller decides a character is attempting a task that falls under their specialty, the player gains 1 extra die. You may only apply one of their specialties to a single roll. So yes, if you get an extra dice. Pretty simple. That's very easy. So that's good.
Yeah, and when you click on roll, it asks you if there's any extra dice that you're using.
Yeah, so you can put it into
you're
that
still
point.
at 1.
Everybody go ahead and make a roll of some kind. I don't care what it is. Just to make sure that your sheet's working and that we're good to go. Looks good.
Oh yeah, I have a hunger on.
You
Forgot
have a
about
hunger. Looks good. I'll show everybody at home too, so they can kind of see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is it 3 or 2?
Of.
Oh, that's not or. Okay. I can read. My monitor's too big. The text is too small.
Yeah. So you can all see it shows you how many dice you're rolling. It shows you how many successes you got out of those dice that you rolled. And then it shows you the individual dice as well. All the green ones with the little ankh shape are successes. All the dots are failures. But it looks like all your sheets are working. Did you get rid of your hunger okay there, Aaron?
Yep,
Okay,
good to go.
Cool. So, anybody have anything else before we take our break?
Yeah, Chronicle Tenants. We talked about it. I don't think we actually approached it, did we?
No, that's right. Yeah, we did actually miss that.
Is that a different thing?
Yes.
I did read it. I did read the book.
You read the Touchstones and Convictions, not Chronicle Tenants.
Where are the Chronicle Tenants? What page is that on?
Yeah, you read the Tenets of the Faith.
Where were the...
So humanist,
172.
creative justice.
172.
The bottom.
Examples are like the humanist, creative justice, gothic romantic, street code. If we're just picking one out of the book, street code sounds good to me.
I mean, it does pretty much cover the things.
Oh, there it is. Okay, Chronicle Tenants.
Right?
Troops should assemble a set of Chronicle. Okay, so this is good session 0 stuff too, for sure, yeah. So this is you guys kind of picking what you're interested in. Right. Personal taste.
As a crew.
Yeah, as a crew.
Coterie.
They only import impose moral sanctions and degradation on the characters when violated. So these are so you guys are trying to pick a set of rules to follow so that you don't have like somebody being a murder hobo while everyone wants to kind of play it cool, or vice versa. This is a good thing to do. So
I
your
agree
choices.
with Sean. I think that street code is pretty in line with what we've got built so far.
These are pretty cool. Yeah, I like so humanists don't kill except for in self-defense, no rape or torture, no harm, the innocent. Interesting. Creed, justice, never kill. Okay, if y'all are all agreed on street code, what is it? Never
I'm down for
snitch,
street code.
respect others and demand respect, don't kill outsiders. Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
What about don't kill outsiders? What about juice boxes, as in people we feed on?
I mean,
I
those.
believe that's what an outsider is.
I mean,
I could be wrong.
all vampires kill humans. That's just. I think I'm not sure exactly what
Liable.
outsiders refers to, but it seems like it might refer to. In the context of street code, an outsider is probably unaffiliated, so it means that you're not killing like non-gang members and people that aren't engaged in criminal activity. Like you're trying not to kill innocents, essentially.
Like Gary's character's social worker.
Yeah, she would be potentially an outsider, but depending on how involved she is with Gary and that kind of thing, she could also be pulled in. It is very much like if you're working with people's enemies, you're not an outsider. But I think it means like don't kill people's families and stuff like that. That's street code. Makes sense to me. That's kind of what it is. You can play a little loose with it, but those are a good set of rules. So yeah, street code it is then. I have a gavel. Bang, bang. All right.
Boom.
Am I forgetting anything else? Be honest.
Let's see here. I think we pretty much covered it.
I think so.
I mean,
Yeah.
excellent. That's great. I'm
You want to
already.
share ambitions and desires, or just keep it?
You can keep a secret,
Okay.
but you can also share them if you
I
feel
have,
like it.
I have not filled out an ambition or a desire yet because
Huh?
desires are short term, and I wasn't sure where we were going
Mm.
with all this. And ambition, well, it's a 3-shot, 1-shot, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how much ambition would come into play.
I mean, and that's perfectly fair. Just kind of have an idea. I mean, as long as you know what motivates your guy, it's fine.
I mean, I'll share mine. My character's ambition is survive another night, which fits into this game.
it's a good one.
And his desire is, keep gas in the tank and a next job, hand.
So there are rule things associated with ambitions. And it must be an achievable goal.
Yeah.
Which survive another night is, but that's just one night. So it's too easy to achieve in some ways.
Considering how many enemies my character has, though. Yeah.
It's fair. It's okay. We'll play a little loose with that set of rules, unless they come in, because it is a short game. So don't worry too much about it. Just as long as you know what motivates your character, we're kosher. It sounds like we're good to go. Thank you everyone for watching. That was our session 0. After the break, we're gonna start with our prelude adventure until 11 o'clock. So stay fresh in the meantime, blood bags.
Fresh out the box. 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 Fresh out the box! Fresh out the box! Fresh out the box! Fresh out the box!
Hey there, everybody! Welcome back to Fresh Out the Box Plays Vampire the Masquerade. I'm still Johanan, and we're going to play our game now. Thank you for sticking around.
It's me, Casualty CDG. I'm the co-host of Fresh Out the Box and Fresh Out the Podcast. I'll be playing the role of Leonard Cross.
It's me, Aaron Bum, yay, also Aaron Dippity Doo, finally getting to play Victoria Beauregard.
And I am Vampire Bites playing Anon.
And I, as always, am the dastardly, dashing Michael Powell. You can find me on social media such as Mr. Kapow, that's MRKAPAO, and I am playing your vampiric trucker buddy, 10-4, Eddie Ha.
That's good. It's good stuff. When he did the haha, he reminded me of Zach a little bit, but I don't want to kill him, so it's a little different. We have a friend Zach, and we just want to punch him all the time because he's a dickhead. But
I like that sometimes.
you're like cool Zach.
Zach, but cool.
You're like Zach, but cool. Oh god, I hope Zach's listening. So I would say it all to his face. It's all good. So yeah, we're in Houston, in the 5th Ward, over off of Lockwood Drive, in a club called Salvation. It's early in the night, but late enough for people to be showing up. We'll call it a nice old Friday. It's a Friday, getting towards the end of October, towards the spooky day. Open up in the club. So I guess we'll start with Aaron. What does that look like? What's going on in the club? Kind of fill the space for me, and let me know what you're doing.
Well, I think what I usually do when I'm at the club is I'd be in that back room that sits like above with the blacked out windows that kind of looks over
The
the
villain
bar
booth?
and then the dance. Yeah, the villain booth, of course. There's the dance floor. The DJ would be like directly underneath of that, I think.
What kind of DJ you rocking?
Uh,
What
some
vibe
kinda-
you going for?
There's like this we decide between like we did throw in like some pop favorites, we got the trap hits for, of course, all the gangsters that are probably in there. We've got we throw in just some old-time favorites and generational favorites. It's a pretty standard like club playlist with a little bit of an extra edge on it.
You can't forget Chopped and Screwed if you're in Houston.
It's fair. It's
Can't
fair.
forget it. So
Also, yeah,
I got
Houston
some-
also has a huge rap scene. So, what's up?
I got some homework for you. Next game, make a playlist.
A playlist for you to listen to.
Yeah. Ovation playlist.
There you
Man,
go.
I will give you a Houston rap place.
yeah, I'm
Gary.
gonna hit you up for that. That's gonna be a conversation we have for sure.
I
Yes,
got
please.
you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so the Houston rap scene, hitting it hard down below, getting the beats. I like it.
And there's like a lot of like blue and violet kind of lights that shine. There's like an angel kind of statuette that kind of like overlooks the dance floor as well. Anyway, keep going.
while we're touching this sensitive subject, I would like to mention that I only had a red bandana. I am not repping a set, so nobody stab me, please. But yeah,
And definitely you wouldn't be wearing a red bandana on the east side.
no. And Katie, yes, but not on the east side. So that's going on in the booth. What are you doing in the booth? What's your plan for the evening? What are your machinations?
So this is like a standard day. Like if it's a Friday, right?
It's a
So I'm
Friday.
actually checking on stuff, getting ready for the weekend. I'm just gonna be busy, right? Going over just how the operations are going, talking with Jasper on like a weekly report or something. We get rid of some of that like early on Friday, and then just kind of hang out a little bit into the evening. Or I guess it's nighttime. I'd be doing this all at night, right?
Yeah, it's night. You'll sleep during the day.
Sure, yeah. Anyways, mostly just doing like housekeeping and making sure everything's running smoothly and everything's good in the club and and on the block. I might do a survey or get a survey.
Yeah, well, Jasper will report it is kind of rowdy out there, out on the block. Tonight, things are a little hot out there. Things are going okay in the club, but he is having some issue last weekend with people selling drugs in your club that aren't supposed to be doing it. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Does he... Because he's a human, right? Jasper?
That's correct. Yes, he is a human.
I don't know if you're supposed to tell them what you are, but he might be aware that something's up, for sure, because he is a level 3 ally, so that's kind of okay. Yeah, sure. We will shoot on over to This is just going to be me getting you guys to fit yourself into the scene somehow. I don't care if you're in the back alley, on the street. I just want you to be on this particular city block for some reason. We'll go with... I'll go with Michael. Michael looks like he's ready to spit fire, so let's see.
10-4, good buddy.
So what are you doing out here on this Friday evening, hanging out at this club?
Actually, can I say that Eddie's just starting to drive into this territory?
Yeah, it's fine.
This big rig, and which is actually, I have a name for the big rig too. Big rig's name is Bad Moon Express. It's also his haven, and let's say he has a shipment for the club, something could be legal, could be not, and he's wrecking himself towards the back.
We'll make it lightweight legal or lightweight illegal, and it'll be like bootleg booze.
Okay. Non-taxable booze.
Yeah, they're illegal. Yeah, you don't no taxes.
Yeah.
Eddie's truck. All right. Excellent. So yeah, you'll be pulling up. You'll see the line outside the club as you usually do. The typical people are lining up outside. There are some locals, but a lot of people come from outside of the territory, which is why things can get spicy near the club. Because it is a nice place.
Also want to say the truck, the coloring the truck, can't really tell whether the way the light hits it is either like dark gray, dark blue, because depending on the way the light hits it.
Excellent. I like it when like something's like barely blue. Yeah, it's a good color. Any fun decals? Anything like that?
We'll say it has
like buxom woman or
on the side. It's actually
something.
It's the grimacing crescent moon. Do you remember from McDonald? What is his name? The moon guy. I'm blanking on his name.
I do. I remember the McDonald's moon guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like that, but he's like kind of grimacing.
Like if a crescent moon was the mascot for a sour candy.
It's more like you know what? Kind of, yeah, kind of like that. We'll go with that. It says the Bad Moon Express on the side of it.
I like Gary's face on that.
It's like, because I paint a bunch of Warhammer miniatures, I know in my head what you guys are describing, but there's a goblin loon boss who looks exactly like you guys are saying, but it doesn't matter if I say that because you guys don't know what it means. So I'm like hearing this description and I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what that looks like, but you guys don't.
Excellent. So you pull around back, there will be generic bar employees that will unload, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Jasper will come down. He'll be the one that signs everything because of the nature of what you're doing. It is illegal, so you need to get the person that's in the know on it. Hey there, Eddie.
Hey, Jasper. Tell Bell that everything's fine. There was no damages. It was a smooth run.
I'll look at the back. Yeah, it looks all right. And he'll give you an envelope.
He just takes it and just slips it into his puffer vest. Thank kindly. Y'all don't mind if I get indulged tonight a little bit in the club?
He'll wave you in. No problem.
Kindly. I'll just leave the Bad Moon out here for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure,
yeah, no,
you
park it out there from time to time, and it is within technically your coterie's domain, so it is safe for you to park mostly. I mean, people could steal it and mess with it all they want, potentially, but you'll probably be okay.
But they would, if somebody does try to steal this truck, they're gonna come to
You're gonna find out it's warded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing to have for sure. But yeah, you'll be let in, no problem. Jasper will let you in. The club will be bumping. Gary or Vamp, which one wants to go next? Either one. You know where you're at, Vamp?
Yeah, in the computer lab that we have set up down in the lower regions of the city.
Gotcha.
The
Yeah, you'll
underside.
be in like
The
a
underbelly.
like a makeshift. Because of the nature of Houston, it is portable, so that you can like take it out and set it up quickly somewhere else because Houston floods. But you can still use the sewer, absolutely. Yep. So you'll just be down there rocking out on your computers.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay.
Cut to a 1980s pickup truck with a camper shell. The lights are off, and it is just doing like 95 miles an hour down the freeway. You see beer cans kind of billowing out the passenger window, and the camera zooms in on the driver, and I'm just as much person as I am crocodile at this point. I have these heavy set scales across my forehead and face that go down my nose, and my eyes are red. And I'm just fucking hauling ass. I'm swigging in beer. I chuck it out the window, get off the freeway, and blow through a red light, and pull into the gas station down the street. I get out right as a woman is walking into the store. I get out to pump gas and look over at the car and grimace at the kid in the passenger seat. He gets scared as hell. And so now I'm about a block away.
Excellent. The only part of that I don't think you can actually use drink the beer. But yes.
Oh, okay.
You can get drunk by drinking the blood of people that are drinking. But if you consume human food, you have to make a roll to not throw up, but to be able to leave the room before you do.
Oh, that's great.
Unless you have iron stomach.
Unless you have iron stomach. But it is
Yeah. Or whatever
instantaneous
they call it.
and violent. Just a note.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also just realized both Vamp and Gary's character are walking violations of the masquerade as well.
Nosferatu are. That's just how Nosferatu are. Gary probably needs to hide it a little bit, but yeah, it's true. It's okay though. People might just think it's tattoos until they don't.
It's a skin condition. It's a skin
condition,
condition.
yeah.
Don't scare. Don't scare. It's not polite.
Yeah,
Stop staring.
little.
I've seen some gangbangers with like the horns and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They get them implanted under their skin. There's some truly terrifying looking, intimidating people out there that I wouldn't look at twice.
I've seen a person that has the full face scales. Like it does exist. As long as they don't get
Definitely
too close. you'd be
raises
okay.
red flags once I start ripping people in half. But yeah, I do see that my character and have full intention that he is problematic.
Oh, gross. Iron stomach, you can drink cold blood. It's nasty.
I need that too, so I can be a carrion feeder.
So
Like
gross.
was the tomato soup gazpacho?
I'll have the gazpacho. Yeah, so all of you, after the gas station, you pull up to the club, you see Bad Moon Rising in the parking lot, and you're allowed entry. People know to let you in. But so the two of you are in the club. You're upstairs, Aaron, and
I'll
Nos
pull
is
my
on the
truck up
computers.
to the back door and go in the back, just so I don't raise more alarms than necessary.
Yeah, it's fine. It's hard to tell in the club lights that you're a weird-looking monster. Are you doing anything of note down there, Nos? Anon? Are you just vibing, on the web?
So, I mean, if this is after we are together as a coterie and Anon is aware of the trafficking that was going on, probably trying to figure out who the competition was basically, and making sure they can stay off of our domain.
Good. I like it. It works into what I was planning. So yeah. You obviously have access to the security cameras in your coteries domain because that's just, it makes sense to me. We'll just say you're watching in the club, and you'll see some hands change. You will catch something. I can't imagine with as intensely as you're probably looking that it would be something you would miss. So I'm not going to make you roll. But you do see some hands change. You see, it's like it's some scrawny. Not sure if he's Caucasian or Hispanic. It's hard to tell in the club lights. But he's a lighter skinned gentleman, young. He has on one of those thicker gold chains with like the thicker loops, and he's wearing like a white shirt and some like really baggy pants. And when he smiles, you catch a glimpse of metal and fang.
That's what I was looking for. Specifically, because, that means they're definitely trespassing. It's not just another gang that we have to take out. It's someone that should know better.
Potentially. Sometimes, some mistakes do happen because, it's not like you guys are on Reddit being like, this is my territory, but still, it is kind of a thing. Yeah, definitely. So you see that you do notice.
All right. We're all on Discord now.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's true.
It's even called Vampire the Masquerade Discord.
That's right.
That's true. Vamp, are you going to go beat him up yourself?
No, I will send a ping on the pager or cell phone.
You probably have an intercom.
Officers. Yeah.
A lot of analog
I'll punch
technology
it. Yeah,
still flies with Vampire. Yeah.
I'll punch it up to the club office.
The booth.
Yeah.
Can I say, because I just like the idea of it, that we all have like a closed circuit series, was it a beeper system that we use?
Yeah,
we all have beepers.
Sometimes
That's just a closed circuit.
Sometimes you do have to rely on stuff like that because of the Inquisition. Yeah.
Actually, that being said, I explicitly wouldn't have hardly any tech on me at all. And actually, a beeper might be exactly the kind of low tech I need.
You get a beep.
Yep.
All right, yeah, so I'm going to check up on that.
You get a beep, you just need to get to an intercom, and then you can talk to each other directly.
Okay, yeah. And I pull it up. What's up, Anon?
Screen 5.
I'm going to, motion to Jasper, and he's going to throw up screen 5.
Yep. He'll do it. You're the boss. You're the boss lady. Yep.
Caught sight of a fang in that exchange.
And nod my head.
You'll see him smiling. You do see some sort of thing going on, but he's also, he has like a grill in. So there's like a glint of metal. It's hard to tell what's going on with the camera flare because of that.
I do have, I want to say I have Streetwise 3 with a specialization in, the club scenes. Is there any recognizable affiliation? Can I recognize a clan or a gang affiliation or anything like that specifically?
Oh, go ahead and make that roll. Let's see.
Because
even if you don't, there's a chance you might know who he is anyways. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
What's that?
For second attribute, do I just pick one based on?
It should be a social attribute. What are your choices?
It's just a drop down menu and I can pick any of them. I think in this case it'd probably be intelligence, right? Just
intelligence
basic
works. Yeah.
Raw info. Cool.
You could also argue. Yeah, intelligence is probably the best one. I just looked at it.
4 successes.
4 successes. 4 successes is not bad by any means. And we have our first roll of the night. Yeah. So yeah, you recognize him as, yep, he's repping a set. He definitely works for a gang. I don't want to name any real gangs because I feel, I don't know. I was gonna put like Banditos in here because they're real, but like I don't want that heat on me. So we'll say his gang.
L12.
L12. Okay.
Instead of M13, right?
Yeah.
That's
We'll
right.
they'll be El Doce
There you go.
There we go.
because that sounds better, but it's 12 in Spanish. Yeah, he's repping El Doce. You can tell he just has a handkerchief in his pocket, flying the color yellow, and you might recognize the guy himself. You're like, I've seen him around, but he is
Okay,
someone
yeah.
who should know better.
Mm-hmm. He is someone who should know better. So at this point, I don't know that Eddie or what's her name, Leo. I'd call you Leo unless there was a problem with that.
Probably Cross.
Ross.
He's Leonard Cross. Probably just
Oh,
goes
yeah.
by Cross.
Cross
Cross.
is a sick name.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, if Eddie or Cross, if I don't see them in here yet, then I'll just have Jasper. I have sought that dude on the way out. Like,
Yeah.
go and get him.
You'll see them hanging out at a back booth, kind of out of the way, watching.
Mhm.
Can I say, when he goes through the back, he specifically looks up at the camera because you probably have a camera pointing at the back exit. He just looks at it, gives a wink, and just does.
That's fair. Yeah, so you definitely know Eddie's here. Also, Jasper saw him, so Jasper would have told you. You're not sure about Cross, but he's hard to miss. You probably see them
you
sitting
didn't
together.
miss me coming in the back camera.
No.
A Good Friday. He should show up.
Yeah, they'll be sitting at one of the back booths. We'll say it's a booth near the stairs that lead up to your villain booth. I love villain booths.
Okay.
They're fun.
Is it Cross's spot?
Yeah, it's probably y'all's spot. You probably stake out there just to, you know.
Like somewhere that we know we would all like our culture would hang out. It's our table, you know.
Yeah, it's probably your table, I would imagine. Yeah. There's probably like artifacts there, like, you know, maybe like a shirt you guys leave around or something, you know, stuff. Like you probably leave stuff in the booth and stuff. Yeah.
Probably be like a little reserved sign or something.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
So I want to just clarify a little
Be a
bit
little
about my
rogue.
response.
Yeah, go
There
ahead.
you go. Yeah, exactly. So I send just like one of the security guys to him, and then I look to Jasper and I'm just say, I feel like I should go talk to him myself, and then I'm gonna step out and go enter that scene.
So you're gonna send a security guard ahead of you and then go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the security guard stop him.
Yeah, one of your security guards will go up to him. Hey, you got to get out of here, man. And he'll laugh him off. Like he'll be like, "Ah, come fucking with me, man." Like, and your security guard will pretty much immediately grab him, and then that's
Mhm.
where you show up.
Perfect.
It looks like there might be some fight back, and you notice a couple other people who might join him at this. You see like some flexing going on.
Okay. Yeah, so I just kind of spot him. Maybe even make eye contact with one of them specifically. Before dressing, do I know this guy's name?
Yeah, we'll say you know this guy.
Mond?
His name's Manny.
Manny. I'm just gonna walk up and say, Manny, I thought we already had this conversation.
Hey, I'm just trying to make some money here.
We're all trying to make some money here. But you know better than to do it on this turf and this club. What got you so brave?
You know how it is. It's hard out there. There aren't any corners that aren't already taken. I'm just trying to make some quick stuff, some quick cash here. There's no reason to get all butthurt, and he'll say that, and like people, like his boys will laugh. Like it'll be like one of those situations. At this point, Cross and Ha can see this interaction going on across the floor.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He's
if
go-
they didn't see it, Anon would ping them on their pager too.
He's gonna look at Cross and goes, Cross, bored? Feeling a little bored?
Unless she asks for help, I'm staying here.
You're right. She's a big girl. Oh shit. You know what? Let's just keep an eye on this sitch.
You know what? Maybe I'll head out to the parking lot. If he gets away, I'll be waiting. And I'll get up and head out the back door.
You just go wait outside.
Eddie's going to call out. Make sure they don't scratch my truck.
Oh my god, I hope this goes outside. I'm gonna beat the shit out of your truck with this guy.
Don't you fucking care.
Be really funny. Yeah. So I mean, he seems like he is a little cocky. At this point, though, now that you realize who it is and you're closer, you can see his teeth. He has a grill that has fangs. They're not.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect. So I'm just going to take one more step closer to him and get pretty close to his face, and I'm going to look him in the eyes with that direct eye contact. So assuming he's immortal,
He might be. Either
I
that or
mean-
he covered up his real fangs with metal, which is
that's
weird.
fair. I'm going on the assumption that he's mortal. I'm just going to say I'm going to chance it. I'm going to do a compel. We're going to just get straight into this.
Yeah,
with
let's
that.
do it. Let's do some disciplines.
Cool. So I'm not entirely sure how this works. The dice pool, I do a manipulate plus dominate versus... Oh, hold on. No roll is required against an unprepared mortal victim. Commanding a resisting victim or another vampire requires a contest. And the contest is my manipulation plus dominate versus their intelligence plus resolve.
What happens if you win?
If I win, the vampire can issue complex commands to a victim as long as they have the subject's gaze and relative quiet in which to issue these instructions.
It is pretty loud in here. I will let
Pretty
you know.
loud in here.
But you do win.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll say. So I look him in the eyes and I say, you're going to take your friends and you're going to get off my block. And you're never going to show back up here unless you really want to get punched in the teeth. And then that's just sort of the command to have him go home, take his friends, and like get out of the territory.
And that's dominate.
That's mesmerize under dominate. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a second dot.
So your eyes flash for a second, almost silver, as like they just kind of do that thing where they like camera flare in real life. And you see him back up. Let's get out of here, guys. I don't need this heat. And they'll leave. Like some of his friends don't seem like they're like, oh come on, man. Like we were gonna punk him, but not with that dominate. That dominate, you absolutely win against this relatively easy foe, and they'll leave. They go out the front. They head on out. Cross, you'll see them crossing the street towards that gas station. Not past you. They're not going to go around the back, but they're heading back towards the highway, which
They
is
didn't,
south towards the gas station.
They don't have a car. They didn't park here.
They didn't park here.
I'm gonna keep my eyes on them. Did they park across the street, or did they keep going out of eyesight?
They keep going out of eyesight.
All right, that's it. I'll head back inside.
I'm gonna lean to my security guy, the one that helped me out over here, and I'm just gonna say to him, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to see any more yellow tonight."
He'll take that for He'll realize that you're referring to no more El Doses in the club tonight.
That's right.
And he will. I mean, they'll start. Yeah, he'll pass the word along, and they will work on that for sure.
Cool.
I'll let you know. if there's
And then
any
at that
trouble.
point, I'd probably notice. Did you get up for that from the? No, you got up a while ago. So I'd probably notice Eddie at the bar then,
You notice Eddie at the booth, yeah?
at the booth, right? And surprised to see you there. I'm gonna go sit down.
Real quick, do you mind if Eddie calls you Bells?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'm just making sure.
You're-
Hey, Bells.
You're a
How
scary
you doing,
lady.
girl?
Hello again, Eddie. You're back a little faster than I thought you'd be.
Yeah, that was a smooth milk run. No
Hmm.
trouble at all.
I'm almost disappointed how easy it is for you to still have a good reason to fire you yet.
What can I say? My natural charm that you
Hmm.
keep around.
Something like that, I'm sure. So, how are things? Have you been in touch with, have you seen, Cross? Have you seen Cross around lately?
Yeah. That boy, he stepped out for a moment, just in case what's transpired there spilled outside. I know how you wanna, keep any disturbances at take it outside.
You can go outside or you can pay and we can take it in the back.
Very true, very true.
But not here on the floor. And not
Oh,
without
no.
permission. Those kids knew better.
Yeah. They're young. You're young. Young. They're mortals. Got time. They got time, or they're gonna end up, lit at some point, honestly.
Well, they have to learn their lessons quick. That's their only warning they're gonna get in this area.
Sometimes we gotta deliver the spankings.
Oh, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that's funny. I guess at this point, Cross could probably come back in through the back.
Walk in and I plop down in the booth, pretty unceremoniously. I'll look to Aaron's character and nod, boss. I didn't kill any of them. Yet.
Okay, well that's probably a good thing because we don't need the extra heat either. But no, we can't be having stuff going on like that in here. That's for sure.
Don't worry. If I kill them, I'll kill them over there. And I'll just kind of signal, like, off of our turf.
That's great. That would be great.
Really quick, actually, I was wondering if I could roll something, Jahan.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could roll a streetwise to find out maybe word on the street why Los Doses
El
are
Dose.
in our Doses are in our territory. Maybe word on the street that they're being pushed into our area.
Go ahead and give
Rumors.
it an extra dice because you're in your territory, and word on the
Okay.
street is one of the things you get bonus dice for in your territory.
Okay. What would be my second attribute for this? Would it be wits? Okay. Extra dice 1. Submit. Difficulty?
Specialty, like just bonus dice essentially.
Would it be a difficulty 2?
Difficulty to know, probably like a 3.
It says here input value difficulty ? I just need to put a number in there.
Put 3.
Okay.
Ooh, boy.
Ooh.
You're kind of new in town, and the El Dose is also relatively new. So you know that they're new, and that's probably why you don't know a lot of information about them.
Okay. Eddie's gonna look at the assembled group here and go, "Oh, y'all know why boys encroaching on our little territory here?"
Well, I hate to admit that he's right, but we're lucky to have this spot. It's pretty tough out there right now. I mean, why he's trying to get in here is either worse than I thought it was, or he's getting promised something big or better than he's got.
It could be a lot of reasons. Maybe he's trying to, make you look bad, lose face. People do, even though you only have a very small domain, people want it. A lot of people don't have anything. So, so the night will go on. You will continue on with this conversation and doing what it is that you do. But Anon, you'll notice it first. You're looking at the cameras, and you realize that someone in one of the booths looks dead. The way they're sitting, like, at first you're like, they're really drunk, and then you're like, man, like, you see them flop over and hit their head on the table. It's like, they might be dead. And then someone else will notice, like one of the mortal patrons will, like, there'll be a scream. And that's when everyone notices. People will look.
Roughly at the same time as the scream, everybody gets a beep.
It's a very simple information to convey too. You can just put the booth number that you saw the body on a beeper. It's really easy. So you all know exactly where this is. It's just a couple booths down on the other end. You see people gathered around like, holy shit. And there is a body on the floor.
Shit.
Yep.
Oh, looks like the bodies are hitting the floor.
Exactly the kind of thing I was trying to avoid.
The
Are my
DJ
people already on it?
The
Or
DJ
no?
looks at you like, what do you want me to do? And then, like, yeah, one of your bodyguards or one of your bouncers are already over there trying to get people away.
Yeah, it's too high profile. We're gonna have to close the club. I
You
think.
start shutting it down. Everybody out. Gotta go. Everybody gotta go. One person will scream, no, that's my sister. You can't make me leave. Blah, blah,
Authorities are on
blah.
their way.
There'll be
you know.
there'll be a scene like she won't leave. I'm not leaving without my sister. What do I do? File a police report? This is unnecessary heat right now. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Oh shit, I'm gonna go over to her and say, just look her in the eyes and try to do another mesmerize. Oh wait, no, I need to do a rouse. I need to do a rouse cost for the first one actually, and then also one for this.
I'll
How do
give
we
you
do
a
that?
pass on the first one. Just go
Okay,
ahead. Click. I think you can just click rouse check and it'll do it. It is a single D10 roll, and it's pass or fail.
Where is rouse check?
Right under hunger. Right under
Oh,
skills.
there it is.
Boom.
Oh god.
So, all that means, you stir your blood. You stir your vitae, the blood of the Ancient Ones, to summon this unnatural power into being, to mesmerize this mortal. And in doing so, your beast speaks to you. Well, now that you have her, it'd be so easy to drink your fill. But it's very quiet. It's not very intrusive. It's just hunger one. But you hear that voice inside your head, your inner predator, tell you to drink.
And then in my head, I retort with, "This one's not deserving." And I'm going to say to this girl, I'm going to say, "You and your sister, you're gonna go home. You're gonna go to bed. You're gonna wake up remembering that you and your sister got drunk. You both passed out and were escorted home by my security. That's the last that you remember. That's the last that you'll remember when you wake up." I actually watched a lot of Vampire Diaries leading up to this, so it's sort of the compel I'm leaning on in terms of the
Gotcha.
representation, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, let me just check it out real quick. I mean, she will leave. She will leave. Do you want her to take her sister's corpse with her?
At first I was like, oh shit, that's fucked up. But then I was like, oh wait, but Victoria says how convenient. So we're gonna have to say, the story will be that I tell her is that she took her home with her. They don't really remember how the night ended.
Gotcha. So she is gonna take the body.
Yep.
Do you look at the body at all, or do anything?
Or
before?
yes, we're gonna check the body out, or have some people maybe one of you guys can check it out while I'm trying to do the mesmerize thing.
Yeah, whoever wants to investigate this corpse, go for it.
A little bit, just one investigation. Dot. How are you, Michael?
Same. One investigation, so.
I think it's. I think you should. I think you should do it. I don't want to walk over there next to these regular human people unless I have to.
All right. Eddie's gonna get up, kind of swagger on over. What's the second attribute you want me to roll for this investigation? Wits?
Intelligence, probably.
Intelligence?
Wits could work. Whichever is higher, I'll allow.
Okay. I would say wits because Eddie is more of a reactionary character, really.
Yeah.
You know?
No, wits is definitely good for, especially a quick investigation like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Any extra dice? We are in our own. We are in our domain.
You are in your domain. I'll allow it because, like, I want you guys to get that bonus at least somewhat in this game. So yeah.
Difficulty?
We'll set it at a 3.
Okay.
But I'll give you information regardless of what you get. Just maybe not all of it. 3 out of 3, you get the information. So you look, you can see she has track marks. She shot up recently. And you find the H on her.
Alright. Eddie's gonna, just carefully pocket the H. And he's gonna I also say, is it okay if I put down that Eddie has some gloves?
Yeah, it's fine.
Truckers wear gloves.
Oh yeah, gloves
I'm gonna
are
have-
no issue.
Yeah, he's gonna have him wear gloves when he's doing all this and help the bodyguards shoot them away.
You shoot them away, you have gloves, you check it out. I mean, they don't mess with you either. They kind of know who's the boss around here. And it's y'all. It's not them. So yeah. You get the gloves out, you check her, she overdosed or something happened, and she is stone cold dead. She's very dead. She's been dead for a little bit.
Actually, how long? Like rigor mortis set in and everything?
No, nothing like that. It was definitely within the past hour.
Okay.
Anon is going to be down rewinding the cameras to see if he can see why, if they can see why or when.
Go ahead and give me
a better time check.
Investigation.
Investigation, not technology, to make sure.
Oh, technology's fine. Yeah.
All right. I'll do.
And the difficulty would be
intelligence.
like 2 because you're rewinding cameras and tracing this one. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Just making sure you don't like fat finger the keyboard and accidentally miss it. Yeah.
Yep, and it's within our domain with specifically our domain technology, so I'll take the
Yes.
extra dice there.
Yes.
Difficulty 2.
Man, dice are rolling. This is fun. All right. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's pretty routine for you. You track her back about an hour. Yep, she got it from Manny. You have your straight line set up. Yep. That guy got someone to overdose in your club. It's fun.
Son of a
At our
bitch.
earliest convenience, I will relay that information. But that would probably not be now.
You know what? I'll say, how about this? Eddie, is there a way to contact Anon? Wait.
We've got the pagers, and there's the intercom system.
Yeah, you can find an
Okay.
intercom and you know that it leads to him, or you can page him.
Right. When the portals that's not working for us gone, he's going to hit the pager and go, Aeon,
Yeah.
throw on a hoodie and come up and get your ass back up here. Gotta find out what's going on here. Could be trouble for the club.
Yeah. I already got some news for you. I'll let you know when I get up there.
Oh, and I need to fix my my Game Boy. Broke it again.
Buy a new one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gary told me that one before. That's not very fun. But yeah, so you head on up. You put on your... Yep, there it is. You should have just been the DJ. That's badass.
Yeah.
Can I retcon my mesmerize a little bit, just because I didn't really think through the whole thing at the
Yeah,
time?
that's fair. Those are hard to set up, especially with not a lot of. I've seen a lot of storytellers like just fuck you when you do it wrong. But yeah, you can. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna have just basically ultimately mesmerize her to actually stay and just calm down and chill
Okay.
and just like relax and like stay in the side seat
She will do that.
while I figure out stuff with the other folks.
She will sit down in one of the booths. One of
I'll have somebody bring her water.
Yeah, one of your bodyguards will be like, "What do you want us to do?"
Yeah, just keep an eye on her, give her a water. Let me talk with the others.
You want me to call an ambulance? He'll like look at her.
Not until I've spoken with Anon. I want to know what happened here exactly.
All right.
Probably knows better than I do.
Jasper will show up. He'll get them to like go check the bathrooms and stuff, make sure everyone's gone.
Perfect.
Yeah.
My
Everyone is
line of
upstairs.
sight is very bad, but every time I look over, I see that I'm not actually showing up on camera when I'm wearing my mask.
You were earlier.
Yeah.
It's funny that you're not. Maybe like get closer or something.
Yeah.
Can you brighten any lights?
Or wiggle.
Just dance the whole time.
Yeah.
Also, I thought it was
Anyway.
kind of
character
funny because
quirk.
you can turn invisible anyways. So
Yeah, I like that, but yeah.
Very thematic.
yeah. Nosferatu are weird. They have the ability to just make you forget they're there. So Anon is standing amongst you. You're not sure for how long.
I'm gonna lose the mask because it's not working well with the camera.
It's all good. The overlay looks good anyways.
Yeah.
But your character is wearing a mask.
Yes. So your friend that you threw out sold her the heroin, and she OD'd on it. And here's the timestamp. We have the
Oh,
footage.
Perfect. And we can just do this through the normal means. We don't have to cover it up.
Oh, you're
Why?
gonna get people involved?
Well, just like the cleanest method of moving forward through this, so we can just, I don't really know what that looks like or how, but I don't want to draw attention to or like cause inconsistent stories between the witnesses and the sister and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you can try to get rid of both of them, just make it disappear. You can try to put the blame on the appropriate target. Those are mostly your two best options. I'm not sure what else.
Why don't we dump this body in front of Dose territory?
You know, we might as well at this point. I don't mind sending a message anyway.
He's gonna block, using his body. He's gonna block the line of sight from the sister that's still alive. He's gonna hold up the syringe and kind of control it. Kind of gives it a little sniff. Bad batch, maybe.
You can check it out. None of you have heightened senses though, because none of you have awestrucks.
No.
So
I do have the 3 in Streetwise specifies that I can tell the good from shit from the bad, as it says in the rulebook.
go ahead and give me that streetwise wits check then, and we'll see if you can spot if that's the issue here.
What's the difficulty? Or do I want to tell you my passes? Or my successes?
I mean, plug in 3. It's fine.
Sure. 2 successes.
No special kind of failure though, so that's okay. No critical failure.
Take it.
Can I give it a try?
Yeah, if you have streetwise. Yeah.
I also have black market, so this might be some stuff that he has.
You could try to contact your black market contact and figure it out, or you can try to make the roll, yeah. Oh wait, you're still investigating your domain, Aaron. Go ahead and roll one more d10.
Oh. Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll wait for that.
She might, because if she gets a success, then she's good. What you got to. All right, so yeah,
So,
you're looking at this, and you can tell the color's off. It's spiked.
Mm.
This is like you're looking at the bag. Yeah, there's like fentanyl in it or something. You're not sure. It seems intentional at this point. At this point, it seems like they were trying to leave a body in your club. So it's
Yeah.
well,
Yep. No, they're definitely trying to make a problem here. This wasn't an accident, that's for sure.
it's one of the most successful investigations I've ever seen in a TTRPG. It's pretty quick.
So
We're an effective team.
literal junk. Like Eddie's gonna say, literal junk, huh?
Yep. Literal junk. We I like that idea. If we have if she has any product on her, we'll just leave it in the palm of her hand and lay her out in El Doce territory.
Alrighty.
And you know what? Who's hungry? We might as well send her with her too. They'll both have just disappeared tonight.
Yes. So the only person that's actually hungry is you.
No takers.
If you don't,
He's gonna go. By all means, I had a big breakfast.
Hmm. So
Sure.
so after big breakfast, after we've decided this once we've figured out enough to like split up for a moment, then I'm gonna go to the sister and be like, hey, come on, let me help you think about something else. Where I will distract her and then eventually drain all of her blood
All right.
to the last drop.
Well, we have. That's the whole thing. But yeah, you can definitely do that. So she's not going to put up much of a fight. So there's not really. Especially with you. You have potence, right?
I have potence.
Yeah, you're just like super strong. Yeah, there's. And you you have her like partially mind controlled. It's a pretty easy kill.
And for manipulation.
You can go ahead and mark off. So you're going to drain her dry?
So I have just the 1 point, so I need to clear that off, right?
You have to clear off your final point of hunger, you have to take their last.
Yep. So in my mind, it's sort of the proper pay for inconveniencing me tonight. I know it wasn't her fault explicitly, but her sister here, and it's just a nuisance. Gonna juice box this till it's a empty Capri Sun.
So messy. So
Oh, so
messy.
actually, there's a chance
Oh, no,
that
it-
she could survive if you want her
Let's see.
to.
Um,
Or you can deliberately kill her.
no, we'll deliberately kill her.
Okay.
We're gonna
In
just.
that case, you do not have to make a roll.
what if you
Bundle
leave
it
her
up.
alive and then we kill her with the other heroine?
Kill her
You
with
like
kindness.
you like knock on my door and like mid drain. You're like, hey boss, I had an idea.
Yeah, kill her with
If they're-
kindness.
If we're gonna stage a body to make it look like a heroin overdose, we might as well stage two to make them both look like overdoses.
Now like, and blood's all dripping off the face. I'll look at you, Cross, and then that's a pretty good idea. Take one more delicious bite before letting her drop unconscious. Still alive,
Okay, so
but I'm not gonna drop my hunger out.
I'm sorry. Oh, so okay, yeah, you have to kill her to get the hunger down. That is true.
Mhm.
Okay, so you don't kill her all the way. You keep your hunger one. That's fine. And then you make her make her overdose with heroin. Sorry, viewers. I don't know. I don't know who's
We
offended.
did
by
lines
this.
and veils this season, this episode.
We did lines and veils. We said this was going to be a thing. This is
Mhm.
completely okay. It's just
Yeah,
man.
no one had a line on killing people with heroin, thank goodness.
Yeah, no one said anything about that, so there you go. So this girl, I mean, between the ecstasy of the bite and the heroin, it's a pretty peaceful death. I think everybody
Salvation.
except for the Nas and the Gangrel, like, people enjoy the drinking. But you two, it's always a horror show, so. Okay, she's dead. I don't need you to roll anything for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I took Predator type Sandman because of that.
See, I respect the Sandman type because like that's just classic, man.
Yeah.
That's classic,
Especially for Nos.
especially for
Exactly.
Nas, so.
It's just when you don't call me Anon, you can just call me Orlok.
So, whose car are you taking to drop these bodies off in Dose territory? It's not the closest. It's not very far, but it's not like you don't want to be walking around with 2 bodies, unless you do.
Probably, if you're up for it, Cross is probably the slightly more discreet vehicle.
Yeah.
Of course. I already have a tarp down.
Perfect. I'm like patting the blood off
Do you want
my...
me to stay here and archive the footage?
Yes,
Or
please,
come
definitely.
with you? Alright.
Well, if you could actually take something mobile and do both, that would be wonderful. We're definitely gonna need that footage.
I'll pack it up.
Yeah, you don't need the internet for that. You can just, you grab a laptop.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Let's see.
Let's just all pile into the station wagon for a little family trip, guys.
We're like that meme, like all dancing to music in the car.
I just saw what you texted.
What is love?
Gary. I wish I'd gone with that name, but I think El Dose is fun.
Yeah, I texted Jahan some local street gangs in Houston and kind of what their ties and stuff are if he wants to use them in the lore.
Cool.
That's a good name, man. Tango Blast. That's a real gang. That's awesome.
It's a real gang, yeah. It's a Harris County jail gang, and they take people from all over, and they're cartel backed. So you can't join unless you go to jail, and once you go to jail, you come out Tango Blast, or else you don't come out a gang member anymore.
Crazy.
Tango Blast.
That's a great name.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
I shortened MS-13 to M13 because I don't know anything.
Yeah, it's MS-13. Yeah, when you were saying that earlier, I just let it slide.
Yeah, I just looked it up. So,
And MS-13 actually, they're a huge backer of Tango Blast too. So they're a huge cartel that spans all the way down into Colombia and almost all the way up into Chicago these days.
yeah, we've got MS-13 out here. That's the only reason I'm aware of them, and probably why I
They're
accidentally shortened it to
everywhere.
M13.
They're all over the place. Yeah, they're pretty big time, which
They
is
throw up the
why
horns.
which is why I will not be representing them in this fiction, because I don't want none. But yeah, so you're in the station wagon. You're in Gary's car. What kind of car is it? Is it a station wagon?
No, it's a 1982 Ford camper shell pickup truck,
Okay.
and it's red and white. It's really, really just nondescript looking.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. Yeah, that's actually, it's a good vampire car. So yeah, you all pile into this thing. 4 vampires on their way out.
With 2 dead bodies in the back.
2 dead bodies in the back. Give me a drive check.
What skill would be drive? Oh, there is a drive. Look at that. And the second attribute, dexterity.
You can do dexterity. I would allow wits. But it's mostly, this is mostly so that you don't, like, garner too much attention. Yeah, that's fine. You drive pretty normal. You kind of calm it down from your earlier 90 miles per hour. And you wind up in El Dose territory in probably about 20 minutes. That's not far in Houston. FYI.
What part of town does El Dose?
They're on the other side.
out of?
They're on the other side of the highway.
Okay.
Oh. They're closer to the zoo. The zoo's actually in the region of town that they're in. But yeah, you cross the tracks. You go across what is it? Highway 90. Yeah, I think it's 90. Yeah, you go under the East Freeway 90, and you wind up in El Dose, or near El Dose territory. I don't know if you want to go in yet. But there's not much. There's not too much change in like the visuals. There's just like you go under this bridge, and then the tags kind of change. You can just see the territory change. A bit more Hispanic on this side.
The sort of neighborhoods go from being these large projects spanning apartment buildings and historical buildings and warehouses to where this side there are a lot of old 1900s run down classic Houston houses. So they're these sort of big plantation homes that haven't been taken well care of. Trash in the streets, bus stops all over the place, lots of people just walking around. But it is a bit more suburban almost. It looks like a crappy brick redstone version of New York, but small and bad.
Yeah. I think I actually have been there.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
It should be just... It is, like you said, it's really close to the zoo. It's just across the freeway from the zoo.
It's weird here, so I'll describe like where you grew up. It's fun. Yeah, so that's where you are. You guys are kind of passing into their domain now. You rolled really good on your... No, you didn't roll that great on your El Dose knowledge. So you might not know specifically like where they hang out. But, I mean, you'll see people wearing yellow every now and again. Some of them will mug your car. You know.
Can I make another streetwise roll?
Yeah, I mean, now that you're here.
Wits?
Yeah, wits is fine. And you can... What are you trying to ascertain here?
From the rumors and everything, where on the street where the Aldoses hang out.
Now that you're physically here and you're looking around and you can kind of put stuff together, difficulty 2. Let's see if you can get it.
No extra dice, right?
No extra dice.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured you'd get... Yeah, there's no way you're going to roll all those fails on 8 dice again, so yeah. 3 successes nets you the cookie. They hang out... So they hang out near this... They hang out in a fast food, like, parking lot area with, like, it's like a Tinkeria. And they just hang out in the parking lot with their cars. And it's right next to one of those do-it-yourself car washes. And around the back, there's just like chain link fence, and it also separates the car wash from the parking lot. But from the street, it's on the corner, and from the street, both sides, it's open. But then the back sides are both covered in chain link, and you see them hanging out.
Eddie's going... Cause this is how I'm envisioning it. If anybody wants to correct me, feel free. It's Ross driving. Shotgun is Bell. He is sitting in the seat behind Ross, and then next to him is Anon. Is that cool? Everybody?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Eddie's gonna kind of, going back and kind of whisper, "Yeah, they're hanging around that takeout place. See if you could find like dumpster or something. We could maybe just hop off the bodies like next to some dark dumpster or something."
I'll make the block, looking around for the best spot to pull up close.
So I'll let you know. There is a dumpster in the parking lot they're hanging out at. But I don't know if that's what you want. There's also a dumpster in the car wash right next door. And then behind there's a bayou. And then the street to the left of it goes over a bridge. And then across the bayou, there's like a little shopping center that doesn't have anything in it. You're not sure. Maybe it used to be office buildings. Maybe it is office buildings, but it's all one floor. And it kind of like goes a distance in the background there.
We do want the bodies to be found easily, so I would say
Car wash.
close enough, so not the bayou, like whichever the dumpsters has the least amount of people around it.
That'd be the car wash, yeah.
The car wash. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Anon's going to be keeping his eyes out for clothes, for any CCTVs in the area.
So the Tinkeria has them. You can see them. The gang hang out. You imagine it's probably closed circuit, and probably because the gang hangs out there. Like that's probably their security cameras. I'm not gonna make you roll for that because your skill is just high enough.
Yeah. Are we going to be seen on that footage at the car wash?
You could come up with a path not to be seen. Probably.
I will make sure that we're directing the driver in that path.
Yeah. So, what is your total amount of dice that you would roll for a technology, intelligence, or wits check for that?
Technology wits, technology wits is 8 dice.
Okay. So, sometimes there's a rule that speeds up the game where you don't have to roll if half of your dice would get you a success, especially in situations where you're not being rushed or you're like not being chased and stuff like that. So right now you're just kind of staking it out. You have time. You can look, and with your skills, you are able to hit that difficulty 4 no problem, and realize, hey, if you just go around. So essentially, what you come up with is there's a little side street on the other side of the car wash that is a driveway that leads behind like a different building on the right, but you don't think the cameras can see you from
I will point this out.
there.
They've
Whoever's
already seen us, but their cameras don't need to see us doing this.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
whoever's physically gonna dump them, give me a stealth check if you don't want to get caught.
Well,
Maybe not me if it's
uh,
stealth.
We just like open the back of the truck and just like with our feet, just like me kind of kick the bodies out.
You can just dump them off next to the dumpster if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, we just open up the back and someone's in the the camper shell, just like with their feet, just like. Eh.
That's fair. Yeah, you probably don't even have to really do very much. Give me what you got, strength there, Gary. Yeah,
I do have some strength.
The fact that you can very easily throw them would probably, especially with what your NOS is coming up with here on the staying off the cameras, you're out of the way. Go ahead and give me a strength check just to do it quick enough to not get caught. I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's not bad at all. So your 3 successes, you throw these bodies back there very easily. I mean, they're just...
So the dumpster's going to be open, like the plastic, and you just see like a 20-year-old woman's body just boom hit it and fall in, and then a second one boom and it falls in, and then both the plastic lids fall. And I look back at you guys like, that was kind of loud.
He just kind of gives a shrug.
Let's
Job
get
done,
out of
bud.
here. Let's get out of here just as quietly as we came in. Then.
Anon,
Absolutely.
can you put in an anonymous tip with the police hotline?
Oh yes. And
I'll put it in drive.
this just because it occurred to me after we had started dumping the bodies, it'll occur to the character also after we've dumped the bodies. Did we check to see if they had wristbands from the club?
Did you use wristbands or stamps or anything?
They do an X, probably if you're underage. Like
Is
the
it just
classic.
a black? Is it just a black permanent
Oh wait,
marker
no.
X?
They wouldn't even allow anybody under the age of 21.
Okay.
There's no marks or anything.
Oh, so you're 21 and up club, so you don't need marks.
Mhm.
You don't do
Yep.
wristbands.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Excellent.
I feel like it would have
So,
occurred to you anyways, and I would have let something like that get retconned.
It
But that's
doesn't- yeah.
funny.
Yeah. They're still wearing the same wristband that they got to get into the club. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. Not I'll drop a.
I would say,
anonymous tip
luckily,
hotline.
most Houston clubs don't make you wear wristbands either.
Yeah.
And they don't really check IDs that much.
we live in a weird place, y'all. It's pretty crazy.
More
but-
reasons not to.
So
visit
how are you gonna make this anonymous
Sorry.
call? Are you gonna go to like a payphone or something?
Yeah, out of sight of where where we're not seeing any yellow.
Yeah, y'all can pull up to a.
They still have payphones.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Very rare though. Very rare.
they are rare. They're still around in real life, but I imagine if the masquerade was a thing, that vampires would probably have them kept around somehow.
And we're in Houston, so all you have to do is find a gas station / Jack in the Box, and there's definitely a payphone in that parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a payphone the other day. I was like, huh, look at that.
Was it in the parking lot of a gas station Jack in the
It
Box?
was in the parking lot of a gas station something.
Okay.
The last payphone I
Pretty
saw
spot
was
on.
when I was visiting New York City, and it was busted.
Ours still work, man. Ours still work.
So
People still use them around here. But yeah, so you'll hit up a payphone and you leave an anonymous tip.
with the address.
Do you mind if I need an anonymous tip? I have an idea.
All right.
He's gonna be on the phone with some trash, like, yeah. We were at the fast food joint, and we saw them. The boys, they were doing something kind of weird. So kind of near that dumpster by the car wash, And he's like crumpling up some trash when he's like talking everything.
Okay.
Damn prank calling vampires.
Yeah, so, they'll be like, what's your name? And, you'll click and whatever.
My name is. Anthony hangs up.
So, you didn't get caught, in the act of doing it, but the loud noise from the dumpster, people saw you drive off, After you get back in the car, and start heading out of, all the way out of El Doce territory back towards your lands, you'll notice you are being pursued you're being followed. It's not like a chase, but you notice someone's following you across, in a pretty nice car. It's a pretty nice, what do they call it?
nice.
Cadillac.
Like, how nice.
It's a drop-down Cadillac, clean paint, bright yellow.
How modern.
It's like a classic Cadillac.
Damn.
Oh, so you could hack it or something?
Yes.
It'd be funny. No,
exactly like that.
Nah, it's a classic gangbanger car, man. It is.
Yeah,
Fortunately, it's funny how much gang culture shields them from the supernatural, which makes gangs make even more sense in the world of vampire. But yeah, so you're being followed across as you cross under the bridge back towards your side. They pursue you.
Looks like we've got company.
Well, shit.
And
Let's go ahead, actually.
at that well shit. That's what we're going to call it for this week's game. That was Vampire the Masquerade. That was Houston by Night, from Fresh Out the Box. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll be doing this all October long, except for not next Friday, but the Friday after that. We're missing that one for a friend's wedding. But we have 2 more games of this coming up. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun already. Thank you for watching. I have been the Game Master, Johanna.
It's me, Casualty CDG. I'm the co-host of Fresh Out the Box and Fresh Out the Podcast. You can catch me and Jahan playing tabletop role-playing games every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have this Twitch, twitch.tv/Jahananon. There's also a YouTube, Fresh Out the Box, so you can watch it live or you can check it out video on demand styles. The podcast we do, Fresh Out the Podcast, that's not related to TTRPGs at all. It's related to movies, streaming shows, video games, and other things that we think you should see. This week, I'm recommending Resident Alien to everybody. It's a comedy. It's got Alan Tudyk. He's playing an alien crashed, stranded on Earth, whose job was to kill everybody. And then he lost his device and watched Law and Order to learn how to become a human. It's very funny. You should check it out on Peacock. It's Resident Alien. And then check out me and Jahan. We'll see you guys next time.
Alan Tudyk is a great porn name.
It's a notable
Yes,
thing
it
to
is.
mention. Yes. It's me, Aaron Bombier, coming around again. Really excited about what we have coming up. It's not anything that I can really just start talking about right now because we haven't done the thing yet, which is release our new quick start. But everything's looking really good. So you should go to adventuresling.com and check out the podcast where we kind of talk about how that's going. And we also interview some cool people in the community, in the tabletop gaming community. And otherwise, yeah, I'll be here for more Vampire next week.
And I'm Vampire Bites. As I said at the beginning, what would a vampire game be without a Vampire Bites? I will be here Fridays for the Vampire the Masquerade game. When I'm not here, you can catch me over on Cybernation Uncensored, doing a Fallout 2D20 on the first and third Saturdays, and on Fridays between this game, like so on the 21st and then Fridays in November and onwards, I'm doing a Cyberpunk Red High Riders campaign over on Cybernation Uncensored as well.
And as always, I am the dastardly, dashing Michael Pow. And you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is at Mr. Kapow. That's MrKapao. And or you can find me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Pow does stuff, because I do a lot of stuff like my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure. I'm also on the Toyzilla Network channel here on Twitch on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Toyzilla Live, where we talk about toys and collectibles. And my upcoming schedule is this Sunday, actually, where I'm going to be playing some Hunter the Reckoning on at that_D'Angelo channel, and we will be raising money for the charity Rain. And then we will be I'll be in a game, I want to say not the next week but the week after that, I want to say a Wednesday, we will be playing Scion, and we will be raising money for to fight cancer. So it's really awesome.
Hell yeah.
And I'll be here on Fridays.
Oh man, shoot me all that info and I'll try to blow it up for you, man. That's cool. That's really cool of you. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been Fresh Out the Box playing Vampire. Stay fresh.
Stay fresh,
Bags.
bags.
Fresh